This video is about self-erasure, how you get to that point and how you get out of it. We've been conditioned to think of ourselves as low maintenance. That was meant to be for machines. And somehow or another, it turned into a label for people. This started off in childhood, it started off in households. And that's how our parents taught us to be. Children were to be seen and not heard. I asked my mom to describe me as a baby, and they said that I was quiet, I was self-sufficient and independent. And I basically just stayed in my room and played with my dolls all day. And my mom even said that she referred to me as her doll. I was considered to be a low maintenance child. Because I tried really hard to make everybody else happy and I could be depended on and relied upon. And I looked at it as a compliment, as a badge of honor, and I brought that with me as I grew up. But over a long period of time, you feel like you're disappearing. And I remember the moment that it started happening, the moment I noticed it, and it was happening in everywhere in my life. It was happening in the home and at work and when I went to martial arts. I did notice that every time I did try to speak up, I was ignored. So I was conditioned over and over again to believe that. And the more evidence I saw of it, the more it reinforced it. And I got to the point where I said, "Well, all right, what is the opposite of low maintenance? The opposite of low maintenance is high maintenance." And when I was growing up, I remember family members, especially men, would refer to women as high maintenance. They were frowned upon. They were considered gold diggers or needy and greedy, and they wanted materialistic things that they were never satisfied. And I didn't want to be that. But people aren't machines. People shouldn't be referred to as low maintenance or high maintenance because it really is all external. If you're a low maintenance person, the external validation is having everyone like you. And then the same thing for high maintenance, you're expecting external validation. So what could we do to replace that? To replace that is to focus on what it's like to be of high value. I've heard of the expression high value woman, high value man. And so what is that exactly? That's a person that is validated from within. They know who they are at their core. They know how to ask for what they want and set healthy boundaries. They love themselves and they don't feel guilty about it. There's no shame in loving yourself. And they know that their true essence, the embodiment of who they are, they feel confident with that. They know how to fill their cup up, to charge their batteries, to feel empowered from within without needing the external validation. And it takes a lot of faith and belief in yourself to be able to get to that point, especially after a lifetime of being conditioned to be in the physical world and expecting everything externally. One of the things that I've found that helped me a lot was writing letters to God. I've read Conversations with God, all three books by Neil Donald Walsh, and he started his journey with writing a letter to God. I start off by writing, and I'm not trying to get to a three-book series by no means. This is just to help me self-regulate, and I find that it helped me a great deal. I would write on the one side of the paper or on one side of the notebook, I would print my question. And the questions would be something like, why am I so afraid? What am I afraid of? What am I running from? Why am I so angry? Or whatever it was, so the questions. And then the answers I would write in handwriting. So printed on one side, cursive on the other side. I just let it flow and I wouldn't stop. And after a while, maybe 10 pages would go by. The message was so caring, so compassionate. It was non-judgmental, and the answers were not what I expected. It was so freeing and so helpful. It helped me calm my nervous system, and I knew that I was able to tap in to my inner being. And I also pray, and because when you get to the point where you feel like you're being erased and you're doing it to yourself, and you need to know that if I can do that much damage to myself, I can get myself out of it. You need to do the work. We are each responsible for doing the work. We can't save each other. We can try, we can show the path, but sitting down and doing the actual work and putting the time aside for you is the best thing you can do for yourself. We've been conditioned to believe that everything is external. And I'm finding that when you break away from that and start tapping into the internal, everything changes. Everything. And you cannot unsee it. And this is why I'm doing this channel, to help people to discover their true authentic self. So if this resonated with you, wonderful. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to join this community, and send this to somebody that you think might need this information. So have a great day. Bye for now. See you next time.